Hi, I'm Adrienne Williams-Octalien, Director for the Office of Disaster Recovery, and welcome to another edition of Recovery Roundup. Today we're going to take a look at the most critical recovery project on St. Croix, JFL North, or the Juan F. Hospital. And I'm here today with the Director of the Territorial Hospital Redevelopment Team, Darryl Smalls, as well as Ms. Hazel Filbert, who is the Chief Operating Officer for the Juan F. Hospital. But before I get you the skinny, we're going to go over to Larissa and find out what's going on with the recovery around the territory.
From the WTJX studio on St. Croix, I'm Larissa Ellis. A project to complete permanent repairs to a popular Frenchtown park is underway. Calvert White, Commissioner of the Department of Sports, Parks, and Recreation, is at the Joseph Aubin Ballpark with more.
We have the contractor that won the bid, Custom Builders, for this project cost that is estimated at approximately $440,000. We were fortunate after the twin storms that the Marriott came in and donated some work to the department for us to get the facility temporarily back up. As you can see, some of the fence in the outfield has already been reinstalled so that we can resume baseball activities here at the facility. Some of the things that this contractor is going to be responsible for: brand new batting cage, state-of-the-art AstroTurf floor pitching machine. We are also going to be replacing the bleachers. Brand new aluminum bleachers are going to be placed back at the ball field so that people that come to view the games will have someplace safe and secure to sit. Also, in addition, we took a lot of damages in the restroom facility. They are going to be reconstructing the roof of the facilities and doing some minor work inside. As you can see, we have already done some minor aesthetics. They went ahead and painted the dugouts, painted some of the buildings, but I'm very, very excited to see that this facility is going to be back up and running in the near future.
The project is expected to be complete in July 2022. Keep a lookout, Virgin Islanders. Emil Griffith on St. Thomas and Rudy Krieger on St. Croix is up next for construction. DPW is on the move. West End residents on the island of St. Thomas can expect some delays and lane closures as their main access road undergoes extensive reconstruction. Jomo McLean, Highway Program Manager, has more.
We're here at the site on Route 30 on Black Point Hill. And this is one of the locations, one of the 18 locations that is being reconstructed from the storm damages of Hurricane Irma and Maria by Island Roads Corporation. This project is funded by Federal Highway Emergency Relief Funds, and the contractor has a design build contract valued at approximately $19 million. The contractor this is the first of 9 locations that the contractor will be working on along Black Point Hill. So we expect this project to take about the next 4 to 5 months to complete. The scope of the project involves gabion wall reconstruction, shoulder stabilization, as well as guardrail replacement.
Thank you, Mr. McLean. I'm sure the communities that utilize this roadway are relieved that construction is underway. The project should be complete by October 2022. The Department of Planning and Natural Resources kicked off construction on long-awaited repairs to the Florence Williams Public Library this month. Amy DeSorbo, Territorial Director for Libraries, Archives, and Museums, met us on site to give us an update.
The contractor has started his work at Florence A. Williams Public Library. The carpets have been removed, pulled up, and the floors are being prepared for new tile installation. With new tile installation, we'll be able to do a quick cleanup with any water incidents.
Heights Construction is expected to close out the $700,000 recovery project by September 2022. The Virgin Islands Department of Education is one step closer to new school construction on St. John. The National Park Service recently wrapped up an open comment period and community meetings as a part of their process for approving the land swap that will provide the necessary space for the new Julius Sproul PK-12 school on St. John. We spoke to Dr. Dion Wells Hendrington, Chief Operations Officer, regarding this milestone.
For those of you that may not know what the land swap entails, it's to provide us with 11 acres of land in Catherinesburg on St. John in exchange for Whistling Key. Yes, we're exchanging property to make sure that we have what we need to make this a reality for the children of St. John. The National Park will make a decision as to whether to move forward with the swap. Again, this has been 33 years and counting. And it is time that we make this a reality for the community of St. John. I am excited as a St. Johnian, growing up in St. John and having to travel. I know that the need is definitely there. And so we are moving forward, both with the negotiations with FEMA and with the acquisition of this land. Once we have secured both, the community will see construction begin.
Business owners, contractors, and consultants interested in doing business with the recovery are encouraged to visit the ODR website at www.usviodr.com for a list of open bid announcements and to stay up to date on all disaster recovery projects in the territory.
Thank you for that update, Larissa. Well, as promised, Executive Director Smalls, tell us exactly where we are with the construction of the JFL North facility.
Currently, we are about 3 months away from opening the doors to the facility to accommodate patients for the people of St. Croix.
Well, this is actually good news, and I know that this is not something that you woke up yesterday and started to do, but there's a lot of work that's going on for all of the construction aspects. There's a building that needs to be completed.
Absolutely. The main building that is needed to make this building ready to open and receive patients is a mechanical building. This mechanical building will provide all of the support systems necessary to run a hospital.
Okay, well, we'll take a look later on and go down to that building, and then you can give us all the details. But before we do that, I want to go to COO Filbert, because it's not only construction, because we do have a building, but there's a clinical aspect to this to make sure that this building is ready to take patients, and you're one of the persons primarily charged with doing so. So where are we with that process?
Thank you for the opportunity. So moving patients into JFL North is a very intricate process. We've developed an extensive transition plan, and we're still in the process of looking at this transition plan, reviewing it, as well as making sure we have all the critical aspects that are going to allow us to safely provide care for our patients in terms of all of the key aspects of operations that are needed for running a hospital. So this is where we are. In addition to this, there's a significant component, which is the regulatory requirement. It's something that's very important for us, because we want to make sure that at JFL North that we are CMS certified. That's a core requirement for us. We owe that to our community, and that's one of the things we want to do to make sure that we improve the confidence of the community in our hospital, that we continue to provide safe and quality care, even in a temporary facility.
Well, you heard it. Well, today the JFL North, your teams, had a kickoff where we did the first tabletop exercise where Governor Bryan participated with it. And guess what? Recovery Roundup was on the spot. So we'll take a look at the discussions there in the first tabletop exercise.
This building is very, very important to St. Croix and to the Virgin Islands. I mean, we were fortunate enough to make it through a global pandemic and never having to really get to a critical point with the hospital, to God's grace. But I think it's time we move into the building. So I think a lot of times people fail to escalate stuff to me because they feel like I have a lot of stuff to do anyway, and they don't want to bother me. But this is to the level where I need to be involved in any delay whatsoever. And I want to thank you for what you're doing, because moving into this will give a collective sigh of relief to the people that live here, including me. I mean, I always think about it from the perspective that we have so many people on this island. The majority of people are over 60 on the island right now. And you think about it, you could have a heart attack or a stroke or anything at any age. You want to be able to know you're going to have, or a car accident, you want to be able to know you have the best medical care. I also really feel strongly about, I have a lot of friends that are medical people, including my brother, clinicians and the like. they put their licenses in jeopardy every day when they extend themselves beyond the capability of the facilities and the equipment they use. So moving in here will make their lives a lot easier too. So thank you for your hard work, and let's make sure that this date happens.
Governor, how important was it for you to come here today and be a part of the first mock transition exercise for JFL North?
Well, I think the mock transition exercise is very important, and being here gives me a sense of comfort and relief that we have competent people on the job that are taking this seriously. I mean, when you think about it, you think it's an easy move, but the complexity that goes into moving 40, 50 people, it's a 600-page document. So I'm looking forward to making sure that that's a smooth transition, and these professionals here I know are going to make it that way. The first time we toured it, it wasn't as laid out as this is. There were boxes hanging around. There were still holes in the ceiling for running cables and stuff. So this is totally different.
Most of the equipment is already in here. The beds, the operating rooms are set up, sterilization, pharmacy, labor and delivery, ICU.
Yeah.
Much of that is already set up. All right, so this building here is the mechanical building. In this building is going to house our oxygen system, our medical gas system. When I say medical gas, I'm talking about the vacuum system, medical air, all of the requirements for patient care. And all of these systems are medical grade and they're specialty, and they have to go through rigorous testing before they actually ship to the territory. So as much as we try to push, and like I said, the contractor is doing their best. As a matter of fact, working with ODR, we've been able to have the opportunity to procure the long lead items, putting down the deposits ahead of time to help expedite the delivery process.
I mean, it has taken a lot of time, but in the long run, I mean, you're really getting all new systems rather than plugging into the old system that was the original plan. So
yes,
that's even better for this facility. You never know.
Yes, this is, like I said, a complete standalone. All of your propane gas, your water, your electrical generators, your diesel tank, everything is going to be independent of Juan F. Hospital, JFL North. It will be a standalone facility that will be here for the duration until a brand new JFL is constructed. Back here to the eastern portion of JFL North, we recently leased 5 acres. The purpose of this 5 acres is going to house the parking. Right now there is no parking. It's going to be part of the demolition. The existing parking is part of the demolition zone, so for safety purposes, we can't utilize that. We're going to have some temporary building or maintenance buildings, storage facilities that's in close proximity. All of those systems that are currently, again, housed in JFL are going to be part of the demolition. So again, this building has to be able to stand on its own.
What do you think, when do you think best case scenario will actually start demolishing JFL?
JFL, I'm happy to report that we're going to have the solicitation out this summer, but the actual demolition of JFL...
22.
Yes, the solicitation packages will be out, but the actual demolition is contingent on getting everyone out of JFL. And while we're moving the patients into JFL North, there's a lot of other support services that we have to transition to off-site facilities, and all of that is being coordinated as we speak. One thing that's key, and I've learned this through my history of working with hospitals, because of medical equipment, you have to render it unusable because you don't want it being used in an improper manner outside of the facility. So it has to be dismantled and disposed of properly.
So the job to actually get this critical building up for JFL North has been tasked to Lamar Tech. How important it is for you to make sure that this project that's critical to St. Croix, that's tasked to you, gets done within the specific amount of time?
It's of the utmost importance. So we understand that this is part of the critical infrastructure for St. Croix itself. To have maintain and have the operations for the JFL North Temporary Hospital. So it's among Lamar Tech's top of the priority list to have this fully functional. We worked with Mr. Smalls and his team. We all know that today's current environment, the economics, have definitely strained the construction industry, but we've been able to collaboratively work together to find different alternatives to get over a lot of the issues that we have had. Long lead items have been a big problem in this industry. Fortunately, we do have a strong engineering team involved with this, so we have been able to find alternatives. to still maintain track on the project and still push forward to make sure that we can have this building turned over and fully operational.
Well, I see it's pretty late in the afternoon. You know, construction hours are really like 7:30 to 3:30. I see your guys are still on the job. Is this really part of Lamartec's plan to make sure it brings the project in on time?
Correct. So one of the issues in doing construction is you don't control the weather or elements or lead time of materials. So having weekly meetings and trying to assess stuff that you could increase productivity. And one of the things is working later hours or working on the weekend to make sure the end date or the completion date stays the same. So even though you might lose a day or two with a rain day, if you attend to that job with a significant amount of time period, the end product would be the same, which it will be done on a timely manner. And not to say we're not running into issues, but with proper planning like what we're doing on weekly meetings, it minimizes that.
Well, Governor, I'm going to ask you to just validate what I've been saying all the time. JFL North is the most critical recovery project there is right now on your agenda. Share that with the people.
Well, it's absolutely the most critical recovery project because everything else is about permanency, right? It's been 5 years since the storm. A lot of people frustrated, can't get medical care here in the islands. Here we have a state-of-the-art building that, but for this, would be working. No fault of Lamartec, by the way. So getting this on and operated not only means that our people get more health care, but it also means that it's the first big step towards taking down the hospital and putting up the permanent infrastructure that will allow us to get the best health care, I think, in the Caribbean.
Well, you've heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. The people who are responsible for making this happen and their commitment to doing it for the people of St. Croix. I want to thank you for joining Recovery Roundup. Stay tuned because we'll continue to build a legacy of resilience.